Hi, my name is Caio, and I'm trying to learn LeetCode. Yes, LeetCode in 2026 seems like a bad choice, I guess, accordingly to recent HackerRank tweet or something like this. But I think for me, it's like a personal goal I need to achieve. So I've been working with technology for more than 10 years now. Most of this time working with Android, and I've been in big companies as well. But I've never been in approved on a process using LeetCode. So this is a personal goal for me to learn to understand all the process of this kind of um, interview. And right now I'm starting to share in this channel my progress. So I've been learning a little bit from here and there for a few years now. So I have kind of a context to how those things works. Uh, but I feel that I need to speed up my pacing here to learn more quickly, so I can get good opportunity when they are still available and while the AI don't stole my job. Just kidding. So let's start from the start. All right, I'll be back. So I'm here in my HackerRank profile, like in my dashboard, and we have here this AI-powered mock interview, and I'm thinking about doing this coding AI-powered mock interview just to see how it goes and to understand which level I am right now. I've never done this AI mock interview before. I've done a few real life interviews, and I wasn't too good as I hope I was. So let's do it. Take interview. Select role. Okay, I have one mock interview available. Um, let's see if this works good. I can think about like signing in for more mock interviews. I don't know. Let's see. Try for free. Start interview. I'm your interviewer. Free feel to ask me any questions, doubts, clarifications during the interview. Hey there, Kyle. Nice to meet you. Oh, that's bad actually. I thought this was a like talking interactive interview, not a text interview. Because I've using some AI tools like Gemini to learn a little bit from here and there, and I've done some kind of these text interactive interviews before with Gemini, and I thought this hacker rank was actually a speaking uh, AI interview, so that's bad, but that's okay. Let's do it anyway. Hey there, Kyle. Nice to meet you. Interviews can be intimidating, so good job on taking this mock interview powered by HackerRank. Here's a little bit about me. I'm an AI mock interviewer. You can discuss your problem solving approach with me. Ask me questions when you are stuck. Remember to keep communicating with me. We will start with your technical introduction post, which I will provide you with the problem statement, and then we will discuss the problem statement together. Good luck. I'd love to know more about you. Could you tell me a bit about your background and what brings you here today? Ah, start speaking. All right, let's try it. All right, let let me. All right, all right. Hi. So I've been working with technology for 10 years now. Most of this time working with Android and mobile technologies, and also worked with some BFF APIs communication to communicate with the front end Android using Java, Kotlin mostly. I've done some hybrid projects as well. Worked in different kind of companies since small software houses and lately working on big banks in Brazil. Um, and I'm here today to learn a little bit more about uh, LeetCode and all these kind of interviews so I can get a better opportunity in the future, like in a big tech company or something like this. Stop speaking. Let me read to just to make sure. Hi, so I've been a big tech company or something like this. Okay, good. Let's see the answer. That's impressive. 9 years of experience in Android development and backend services is quite substantial. Working with both traditional banks and software houses must have given you diverse perspectives on different development cultures. Yeah, that's true. I'm curious, what do you find most challenging about algorithmic interviews compared to your day-to-day work as an Android developer? Also, have you been practicing with any specific types of problems? Um, Most challenging. I think the real challenge for me in this kind of interviews it's to like concentrate and remember of everything, remember all the theoretical uh, technologies that and things that we mostly don't really use like in, on our daily basis. So I think stay focused and not nervous. It's the hardest part for me, and I feel that I'm not completely prepared for every single challenge that it could come with this kind of it. I completely understand. The pressure of technical interviews can be challenging, especially when dealing with concepts that aren't part of your daily work. It's very normal to feel nervous. Remember, the goal isn't just about finding the perfect solution immediately, but also about demonstrating your problem solving process and communication skills. Let's work on this together and feel free to think out loud as we go through the problem. Here is the interview question. Feel free to explain your approach first before starting to code. Problem statement. Giving two strings, string 1 and string 2. Where string 1 contains exactly one character more than string 2. Find the indices of the characters in string 1 that can be removed to make string 1 equal to string 2. return the array of indices in increasing order. If it's not possible, return the array -1. Note, use O-based indexing. Example. So here we have an example with two strings A, B, G, A, B, D, G, 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 D, A, and string 2 A, B, D, G, G, D, A. Okay, 1D. Any G character at position 3, 4, or 5 can be deleted to obtain string 2 to string 2. Return 3, 4, 5. I got it. Input format. Function description. Complete the function get removable indices in the editor below. Get removable indices has the following parameters. String 1, the string to modify, and string 2, the target string. Output format. It's a integer array. The indices of characters that can be removed from string 1 is ascending order, or -1 if it's not possible to match string 2. Okay, here are the constraints. Tá. Alright, so string 1 will always have at least 2 characters, and string 2 at least 1. Only contain lowercase English letters. Alright, so usually in this part of the interview, in a real life interview, it's when you get all the answers. Like you have to make questions for the interviewer. So I think I can write it here, right? Let's see. Um, we have two strings. Okay, and we have to find basically one string is one character greater than the other, and you have to find the letter that we can remove from string 1 to make the strings equally. String 1 and string 2 only contain lowercase English letters. This would be one of my questions, like the input format. Alright. So it's answered here already because we don't have special characters, we don't have numbers, we only have lowercase English letters. Okay, so it makes easier for us. And let's see. The target is the string to modify. Let's see the code first. I'm using Kotlin here. Complete the get removable indices. All right. I think most of my questions here it's already answered because they are already had sent my edge case here, which is if I cannot find, I need to return -1, a array with -1. So it's answered already, and I have as well the input. All right. I'll try to implement this code here. So let me type it here to see if I understood completely. In this example, we have this string first. And this one as the string 2. I'm going to need to iterate over the two strings and compare at each index if they are the same. If they aren't the same, I remove it. Okay. So what I think I'm doing here, creating a int array. So in Kotlin you can use like this, which is the result. Something like this. And you can return it here. Okay, so it already covers our edge case here, which is when we don't have a answer, we are returning the -1. All right. So what I'm doing here right now, it's um, I'm in Kotlin, we can use a for each in a string, and it automatically iterate over every single index inside this string. Um, and I was thinking about comparing like this with, actually I'll need a index here, so I can use this. And I can compare here. If this char equals the string on the same, actually it's, if it's different, I will I actually need to So um, okay, so um, I'm trying some initial implementation here where I'm iterating over all this string and comparing this with this. So let's say we have these two strings here, and I'm trying to debug here on manual debugging. So I have this one here and this one here. Um, Here we are creating a array here is 0. It's actually empty here. So in the first here, we will have uh, index 0 char a, and when we take the string 2 with index 0, it's gonna be a as well. So it's equal, this will be ignored. All right, so then we have index 1 and char b. String 2 on index 1, it's also char b, so will be the same. Index 2 will be the same. Index 3 will be the same. Index 4 will be the same. And then index 5 finally, we find this, it's different here, because here is D. And now we actually add this index 5 here. But actually here they are saying that we can use 3, 4, or 5, right? So giving two strings exactly one character more. Find this of the characters in string 2 that can be removed to make string. Yeah, okay. So the string needs to be exactly identical with one of with the another. So we find that this 5 is actually different, but we can have to take this in consideration as well. So we have this G, this letter G. Okay, so what I was thinking here is because we don't we don't have to we don't we cannot assume that uh, if we find like this letter here it's different from this, we can filter all those letters and add to the array list, because if for example I have a G here, will not be the same. If it's like this, G here and G here, so what I'm thinking on doing here, now I know that at the index 5, 3, 4, 5, we have, can I filter all the G's? Because remove one, removing one here, it's the same. Okay, but if we have one here, will not be the same. Let me check if my interpretation is right here. I was Let me check if my interpretation is right here. I was thinking about iterate over the first string, and when I find a letter different on the same index of the second string, I'll add this index, actually this index, to a array list, and then I will return as a result of the index that is different. But in this situation, I'm disconsidering like the other indices. I'm finding only one. I'll be finding only one index. How would I find the others? So the AI answered me, I see you're thinking about the iteration approach. Let me help you clarify. Could you walk me through an example? Let's say we have string 1, AABBB, string 2, AABB. How would your approach work in this case? Try to think about what happens when you compare these strings character by character. Um, yeah, we will actually not work because we don't have the same index on the string 2 for the last b. Yeah, it actually won't work because we don't have the same index on string 2 for the last b. So we actually need to find the repeated letter on the string and then filter, actually, and then save the index of the repeated letters like in a sequence, and this would be the answer. Yes, you're getting closer. You've identified that we need to look the repeated characters. Let's break this down with your example. When you have repeated characters like B in AABBB versus AABB, you are right that we need to find which of these B's could be removed to make them match. Can you think about how you would determine which positions of B could be removed? Maybe trying to write down the steps you would take manually to solve this. Remember, we need to find all possible solutions where removing a character would make string 1 equal to string 2. Okay, so we have we have repeated A's as well, but we have more B's in string 1 than B's in string 2. Actually, for this scenario, any B's could be removed because they are at the end of the string of the and I have to make sure that the first I think I would just have to make sure that the string 1 has more B's than the string 2. Exactly, you are on the right track. In your example, any of those extra B's could be removed because, right, and you are right, removing any of the last 3 B's would work. Now, can you think about how to handle a more complex case? For example, what if the repeat characters were in the middle of the string? How would you approach need to change to handle that? Feel free to start coding your solution when you're ready. I've done I have started. Mm, All right. I don't think I can do it because we have 40 more minutes and okay, I give up. I don't get it. Um, Compare the strings character by character. Keep track of position where we find extra characters. Return the indices. I think I need to use a hash map where I can put the character and the number of times it appears in the string. For example, if I do something like this, this is called gambiarra. This is gonna work for exactly this situation here because we found right the the different position like the in the index 5 of the string 1 0 1 2 3 5 4 5 is the different one, so we are taking two indexes back and comparing if the is the same char we are going to add, and one index as well, so we are adding those three indexes. Of course this is a wrong approach, but I'll be better, I promise. Of course it's out of range because I'm comparing a string with 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 with 8 characters with one with 7. Well, too bad. I'm not fixing it in 30 seconds. Hmm. I saw it here. For each position I in string 1, try remove that character, check if the resulting string equals string 2. If yes, add I to your result array. I got it. I was I was thinking it completely wrong actually. Your code shows basic understanding of Kotlin syntax but has several issues. The main concerns are lack of input validation, potential array index out of bounds exceptions, and unsafe array access. The approach of using for each indexed without proper bounds checking led to runtime errors. To improve, one, add input validation for string lengths. Two, implement safe array access with proper bounds checking. Three, consider using more idiomatic Kotlin features like no safety operators. Four, add error handling for edge cases. Five, consider using more descriptive variable names and adding comments to explain the logic. Yeah, problem solving. While you showed good initial intuition about comparing strings and finding differences, the implementation strategy needs more thorough planning. You identified that you needed to find positions where characters could be removed, but the approach wasn't fully true though. Though wasn't fully thought through. Areas for improvement. 1. Break down the problem into smaller steps before coding. 2. Consider edge cases in your initial planning. 3. Test your logic with simple examples first. 4. Think about validation requirements before implementation. 5. practice developing a more systematic approach to problem solving rather than jumping directly into coding. Language proficiency. How how do you say this?
Proficiency. Proficiency.
Proficiency. All right. Language proficiency. While we showed familiarity with basic Kotlin syntax, there were some gaps in utilizing language features effectively. Areas for improvement. 1. Better understanding of Kotlin collections and array operations. 2. More effective use of Kotlin's new safety features. 3. Using Kotlin string manipulation functions. 4. Understanding and implementing proper bounds checking. 5. Making better use of Kotlin's standard library functions for array and list operations. Consider practicing more with Kotlin specific features and studying the standard library documentation. Technical communication. Your communication showed good engagement and willingness to discuss the problem. You asked clarifying questions when stuck and were honest about needing help, which is positive. Asking for help is positive, alright. However, there is room for improvement. 1. Explaining your thought process more clearly. 2. Discussing trade offs of different approaches. 3. Being more specific about what parts you are struggling with. 4. Articulating your implementation strategy before coding. 5. Using more precise technical terminology when describing your approach. Alright. Let me see if I... Can I save this somewhere? Please. Let me save this. Oh. Okay. And now this here was the killing solution for me. Oh, can I see my code? No, right? Okay. Oh, cool. I can practice here. The same problem. Oh, that's great. So, Scotland. Right, let's see if with this little help here I can finally implement. So first, let's add some basic validations. Check if string 1 is exactly 1 character longer than string 2. If not, return. Alright, so if string 1 dot length it's equals to string 2 dot length plus 1, is actually different from this, return array of integer minus 1. Okay, for each position in I in string 1, try remove that character, check the result else we are still creating a array, so result and we are returning which one we use it, was something like to type it array. Okay, and then here we are doing the for each thing, and we actually can still use the for each indexed because we have the index and the char, the character. And what we are doing here is taking the string 1 substring at actually substring index if this string is equals string 2 we add to result this index. Oh my god, was it? Let's see if the same here. Let's say string 1, it's AABBB. String 2 is AABB. Okay. Here, string 1 dot length is different from string 2 dot length plus 1. No. So we're going here. Index will be 0. Char will be A. String 1 substring index here. I'll represent it here. So the index is 0. It will be like this, A B B B, and I'm comparing with string 2, which is A A B B. No. So we're going to to index 1. Index 1 have removed the second A. Could be exactly the same result. Index 2, so it's 0 1 2. Now we have 2 A's and 2 B's, and yes, it is. So now our result have a index 2. All right, index 3, 0 1 2 3. I remove it, so it's AABB, it's the same. So we add it here. And now index 4, 0 1 2 3 4 is exactly the same. So we add it here. Seems like it. Unbelievable. No? Alright. 2 3 4. What? I don't get it. String 1 substring. Oh. I may be using the wrong substring. Let's see. No? Well, Okay, so I actually make this thing work, not the way I would like to work, but okay. Well, what I had to do is create a string tree, uh, substringing from the beginning to the index and concatenating with another substring from the index to the end of the string and compare this with the string 2. Okay, this works for this case here, but for this one, mm, okay, it's another edge case here, because if I remove this m, it will never work actually. So I have to check if the result is empty. I will add this here. Let's see. Finally, 1 hour later, you would probably have some another edge cases here. Uh, yes, I said. Hmm. Yes. Was because my code was not the best code in the world, and this makes the code a little bit slower. But it's fair for a beginner, right? So, if you watch this, thank you. I know it was hard, especially for me, but I'm trying. I'll be good at this. I promise. Bye.